You done a Roddy Ricch video?
It still feels like the beginning. To me, I feel like, yeah, I've done a couple things, but haven't done like anything mad yet.
I think that's why you said Thumb was something different for you, because that was full on like...
It was so different. Like I got to play with like the narrative, but then I got to take like Huncho and Nipsey Smalls out of the normal world that we see them in and put them into Goodfellas. Like I thought that was cool. Huncho literally just said, do whatever you want. All he said is, I'm going to jump in a pool and I want to wear a suit. And I was just like, that's all you got for me? He was like, anything else you want to do it. I was like, okay, cool.
Ownership over anything else.
I'm doing all these shoots. People coming to me directly and I'm giving them to another production company. I might as well just do it myself.
Yeah, 100%. So how much actually do these music videos cost?
I charge I work with budgets from like 10,000 upwards.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the CEOCAST. I'm your host, Raheem, and today we are back with yet another female guest on the show, and I'm excited because it's someone that shares a sort of the same passion that I've got. And let me just jump straight into it because I'm excited, and I'm sure you will be as well. Let me just introduce you straight to the lovely Ashleigh Jadee.
What's good?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. So for the people who don't exactly know who you are, because obviously you're behind the camera, you're behind the scenes pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
What is it that you're behind the scenes of? What do you do?
So I work in the music industry. I'm a director. So I direct a lot of music videos. I also do content for brands. I've done a short film before. I've done a TV show. So I'm very behind the scenes in the film industry.
Okay, so yeah, we'll start this off with, so how old are you?
So I'm 29.
Okay, you're 29?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you don't look 29.
I know, everyone thinks I'm like 21, 22.
I would say max 23.
Yeah.
23. So, okay, you're 29 now. And you've been in this game for what, about 10 years, a decade?
Yeah, just over 10 years, I would say.
So you would have started when you were about 18, 19?
Yeah, I bought my first camera when I was 18, I'd say. And I discovered it when I was at college.
Okay, yeah, so let's get into that. So what made you get into this in the whole first place?
So when I was doing my GCSEs, I did media and I didn't really know what I wanted to do at college, but I really enjoyed media. And my teacher suggested doing media BTEC at college. So I said, okay, cool, let me try it. And then from there, I really loved photography. Yeah. And pursued it. I was always out shooting something. And I actually worked at Primark at the time. And I used to harass this photographer who worked at Primark and be like, oh, let me come on a shoot with you, So
I can ask, was photography, you got into photography before videography?
Yeah. Okay. So that's how I started. It was all photography first. And then I went to my first ever video shoot and it was for Wretch 2 and Scorcher was directing it.
Okay.
And
which video was that, do you know?
It was called Superhero.
Oh, that was
do you remember it?
It's old, so...
It's old, and
I mean...
Wretch is in like the LV drop. He had like a bucket hat, I think.
I mean, bear in mind, at the time, you would have been 18, 19. I would have been about 13. So whether I can remember or not, I don't know.
It's super old school. Like, it's like a really like old video, but the quality was so good because they were shooting on Reds. And I'd never seen a red cam them times. So I was like, ooh, what's that? The camera like was huge.
And then someone probably dropped the price, 50 bags for a red.
Literally. Yeah, and then I was doing behind the scenes on shoots. That's how I kind of got into it, doing behind the scenes on shoots. And it wasn't until like later on when I upgraded my camera to a Canon, that's when I was like, oh, I can self-shoot. And then I started shooting videos. And then a couple years forward, I assisted a director and then he taught me how to do production. So then I was learning all the production side of things, like dealing with budgets, negotiating deals and...
Oh, like the whole package.
How to organise a shoot.
Okay.
And I did that for about 2 or 3 years. Worked with like a couple brands like Beats by Dre, Lazotica, Kiss 100. So it was cool. Like, I was working on some really good projects.
I mean, you're name dropping them brands like it's a minor thing, but you're saying Kiss 100, Beats by Dre. Those are all big things that we got to talk about later on in the podcast.
Yeah, we do.
So you started production at what age?
I would say I was around 21 when I was doing production. My first ever video that I produced was for G-Fresh and Skepta, The Man. Let
me just ask you quickly. So the videos you're producing, did you always know that you wanted to go into music videos? Or did you?
Yeah, I always knew. Because I used to be that kid. I would watch cartoons here and there, but I was always watching MTV.
Okay.
all the time.
All music videos, MTV, Cribs, all that sort of stuff.
All of that.
All those programs.
Everything, yeah. And they used to have making the video. It was like a TV show that they would do, and it was like behind the scenes of this video. I used to sit and watch it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this when I'm older. But I just forgot about it as I grew up, and then it just came full circle. I actually did a job for MTV the other day, so I was like, this is crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy from the person watching MTV thinking you want to do it, and now actually doing a job for them.
Yeah. So that was a moment I was like, whoa, this is insane.
What was the job for them?
It was just like online content for like it's like a female cast series that they're doing. So I think it's gonna drop probably end of this month, I think, or next month. Yeah.
So when you first started out, you were on camera as well as off camera?
No.
No
Way.
So what was you doing?
I was always behind the scenes. Always.
No, not on camera as in like
okay.
as in like on camera like
holding the camera. Yeah. I thought you went in front of the camera. I was like, what? I could just about talk to people. I was so shy.
Is it?
Yeah, I was so shy.
So how did you manage to build such a big name for yourself? Like,
I think it just comes with experience. When you keep doing the same thing, naturally you just become confident in it because you've done it so many times.
Yeah.
But when I first ever started, I remember being at the Wretch video shoot and I could see Getz, Marvel, there was someone else with them. And I remember seeing the image to take this photo. I was like, this picture would be so sick. But I couldn't even say to them, excuse me, can you guys look at me? I couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. And then Shams, Face for Music. I don't know if you know Shams.
I've heard of him, I believe.
No, it's a girl, Shams.
Okay, no, then I'm not talking about that one.
Yeah. So she saw me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I just want them to look at my camera. She was like, all right, guys, look over here. And I was like, Ch-. And then I was just like, thank you. I walked away. I was so shy.
So did you end up getting the shot then?
Yeah, I got the shot.
Oh, sick.
I can send it to you.
So, yeah. In fact, send it because then I'll put it in.
Put it in. Yeah.
So what I was going to say is at first you were on camera and directing behind the scenes as well.
Yes, I was a videographer.
Yeah.
It's like a self-shooter and directing at the same time.
Yeah. So you were a videographer then and directed at the same time.
Yeah.
And now what would you class yourself as?
Just a director because I don't operate a camera. So when I'm working now, I have a DOP who will operate the camera for me.
What does DOP stand for?
Stands for Director of Photography.
Well, and that's just someone purely for photography.
No, okay, so I know it's confusing, right?
Okay, yeah.
So your DOP is Director of Photography and it's like a super advanced videographer. So they work with like the larger cameras, your Arris, your Reds, but they also have like a wide knowledge of like lighting as well. So you can show your DOP an example of what you want to create and they'll be like, okay, yeah, you need this, this lens, this.
So you could show like a scene of something to DOP and they'll know what equipment to get for it.
Exactly. They know how it was shot, they know how it was lit, everything. So they're just more advanced. But nowadays, like a lot of self-shooters are just as advanced like that because they are doing their own lighting and everything. So
they're getting everything sorted out. No, that's so when you started out, it's just like you were independent, obviously freelancing for yourself, yeah?
Yeah, I've always been independent.
Are you still independent now?
Yeah, even now I'm independent.
Oh, flipping hell. So you're smashing it, really. And
doing all right.
We'll talk about the projects that you've worked on like recently and within the last few years.
Yeah.
But I mean, you done that all independent as well?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. There's like maybe a couple projects where a production company have helped me get that job or they've put me forward. But as of lately, pretty much everything that I do is just directly through me. So
the first project you worked on, you said was the Wretch 2 project, yeah?
Yeah, well, I don't want to say I worked on it because I just got the opportunity to take behind the scene pictures. Okay, let me reword that then. So the first project you had experience with. Yeah. What was the first project you had actually assigned for yourself? It was a video for Young Spray called Show. So that was the first time where someone was like, I've got this budget and you can direct it, put a video treatment together. And at that point, by the time you got to that stage where someone's approached you for a video, how much work had you have done to get to that? That was 2015. So that's like I'd say it's like, wait, I've got my numbers wrong. Wait, so if I started 2010, it's only 5 years. Yeah, so it's like 5 years in. You would have been about 23, 24, roughly. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I would say like 23 maybe. Yeah, around that age.
So that would have been about 5 years into, like you said, from the start to then to the first project. So what were you doing up until that whole time?
So, oh gosh.
Was it just a matter of building experience and jumping on jobs where you could?
Yeah, so I was doing behind the scenes. I was also a videographer, so I was shooting a lot of videos for artists and people that I knew. I do photo shoots for people's clothing, events. I don't know, how old are you?
20, I'm forgetting. 24 in May.
Oh, you're young. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think you'd ever remember this, but there used to be like a comedy show that used to happen in West End called Sunday Show, and I was a photographer there for a long time. So I used to do I was bouncing around doing everything really. I did internships.
How long ago was that comedy show?
Oh, I did that when I was 19. So
10 years ago, yes, I would have been like,
you'd have been young.
Right. I wouldn't know about no comedy show in West London.
I used to do that. What else was I doing? I did internships. And then I did the production stuff as well. So that took a couple years as well. And then it was towards the end of me doing production, that's when the opportunity to direct something came along.
I'll get into this later on more, but what I wanted to ask was the fact that for someone to do this, you got to have a proper passion for it. Yeah, and a passion for, say, being a videographer as well. Yeah. So what made you want to make that transition from being a videographer and a director to now, in today's age, just a director? Am I right?
Yeah. I think it's just it's just a natural transition, really. I knew that I wanted to direct a certain quality of visuals. Yeah. And I had no passion in learning the equipment and holding the camera, and that side I didn't find enjoyable. I didn't really care about what's the latest camera and it's got this spec and all of that.
Lens and all that.
Even now, people always ask me, what camera should I get? I'm like, I don't know. Call Jessops and ask them because I don't know. Like it's just not really my passion. But I have a passion for what comes out of the camera. So like what you're shooting, you know,
like you have I'm guessing, because I had this image, so let me put it like this. Before I created this whole studio and this whole setup and everything, I had an image in my head of exactly what I wanted to look like in terms of what your angle is looking like right now, and same as mine. Yeah. It's kind of like your job is to bring that to life. Exactly. And that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah. I want to just make sure that what I see here is in a product form so everyone else can see it. Yeah. Other than that, I'm not really bothered about like lighting and all that. It's not really my passion.
So how long ago did you make that transition, or that step, should I say?
I'll say from 2016, because I did that first video with Young Spray, and then I kind of didn't know what to do because the director that I had been assisting and producing for, he just disappeared. He was just like, right, I'm gone. Basically. He was just like, I'm gone.
Off the scene.
I was just like, wait, what? So I'd gone from, being consistently busy all the time with him and project after project, and now I'm back by myself. Yeah. So then what I decided to do was intern at a production company that my favorite director was represented by. So I was thinking, let me follow her blueprint, get these people to know me now while I'm like 23 or 24. Then by the time I'm like 30, because that was like the age that I noticed directors started to blow when they hit 30 for some reason.
Okay, so that was in your head?
Yeah, in my head I was like, okay, that's kind of like, if I get to know everyone now.
30 on the dot?
Yeah, like it was like the year of their 30s. Yeah. They just became really known. So I was like, okay, well, I've still got a couple years. So let me go and meet all the people in that production company that I want them to represent me. And then by the time I'm 30, I'll have more work, and then they'll just want to take me and represent me. Yeah. But I actually got represented by them in 2017. So a year after I had interned there, they wanted to keep me, and then they put me on a website with the director that I looked up to.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, so it was crazy.
This is like a whole, like, it seems like your life's like a whole manifestation of what
literally, sick. I manifest everything. Every part of my life is like manifested. It's nuts.
So you're 29 now? Yeah. When are you 30?
September.
So do you feel like you're going to be part of that, in your opinion, do you feel like you're going to be part of that directory category where above 30 and beyond, that's when they start blowing?
I don't know, Yeah, I guess so, because I feel like even now, it still feels like the beginning. To me, I feel like, I've done a couple things, but not I haven't done like anything mad yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even though a lot of people think that I have, but I guess that's just
But I think
ambitious.
a lot of people probably think it's like you have, because if you look at so to you, filming something is probably just a walk in the park. It's just normal.
Yeah, literally.
But if you look at someone like me who like, for example, you've been on Rimsey's Anything set, yeah? I've never been on a music video set before like that, in terms of...
Was that your first shoot?
Kind of. I've been on some here and there, like, as long story, because we used to do car rentals, so we used to be the ones driving the cars and providing the cars.
Okay, yeah.
And now this time I went for Anything, it was a whole switch around of I was doing behind the scenes for Rimsey. So, and then being on that, for me, it was just like, this is mad. And I was only doing behind the scenes. I was thinking, I don't want to do this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but Hugh's probably just normal, isn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? That shoot was fun because I had my mentees working on that shoot. So to me, it was like proper. It was just so weird watching that all play out.
That's what I'm saying. Why people might think it's mad, because there's so much that goes into it, but you probably don't see it.
Yeah.
For example, what's one of your favorite projects that you worked on, or the favorite project?
Oh my!
Because I remember you saying this when we met up for Anything. So what was the...
Do you know what? My favourite project was my Huncho Nate Small's fun video. Like, that was my favourite. But I just shot something for Sons of Kermit called Hustle, and it's got Koji Radical in it, and I think that one's taken its place now.
Oh, it's topped it, yeah?
Yeah, I really love that one.
So what I was I think there was a behind the scenes video, am I right or am I wrong? For
which one?
For Thumb.
No, there wasn't, which I'm really upset about.
How did I see behind the scenes?
Maybe I have some footage, but I don't know if I've ever released it though.
I think I might have seen it like that, because you done a podcast with Trist.
Yeah.
And I think you might have sent the video footage to him. Maybe. Because I was the one who edited that podcast.
Yeah.
So,
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
So I did that. Maybe that's how I saw it. I don't know. But that whole production in itself is mad.
Yeah, that one was crazy. That was that one was like a huge production.
So this new one, what is it for you that actually stepped up that game? The new one that you just shot.
Do you know what it is? I feel like it's like a personal thing, because it's like, even though the video has like a meaning where, you know, you can see that, first of all, it's dancers. I've never worked with dancers before. So that's the first thing. But even though the story is about like the battle between the internal through the dancers, I felt like it was also showing me as a director. It was showing the two sides of me. So we start off in the estates, which is the visuals that everyone knows me for. Like my genre is UK music, so I've grown up shooting in the estates and all of that stuff. But then they go through a journey, and then they end up like in the ocean, and like it's like a rebirth, which is like what I feel like is happening to me now. Because
so what is it, a music video, or is it like
it's a music video, but it's like 5 minutes long. So
see, that sounds like a film.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was when I got sent the track, I was thinking 5 minutes, and it's jazz music.
So was you the one who like directed it and had the whole visual in your head?
Yeah, I came up with the whole idea.
So what made you come up with the idea of, you know, starting in the block to what looks like, or what sounds described like a vacation sort of thing?
It's like it was the lyrics, because Koji was rapping on it, and the chorus is born from the mud with the hustle inside me. And I feel like that's just something that our culture says all the time. Like, you know, you always think like, oh, you're from the hood, but you're gonna make it out.
Yeah.
So that's why I used the estates and the blocks. And then I just wanted to show like that once you made it out, that whole transition that you have to go through mentally, just as a person, to like adapt as well. And spiritually and all of that stuff.
So you said you related that to your life.
Yeah, because I feel like me as a director, you know, you see the blocks, and all my work is like been in the hood, and but now I want to direct different things where it's like more feminine and like girly and stuff like that. It's like a whole rebirth. People can be like, what happened to her? But it's just me as a person. I've changed. Like everything about me has changed over the last year. Let's
talk about that, because I think I saw it it was from me talking to you from your website, the fact that you want to slowly transition from music videos to actual film making now.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just a natural transition.
And just a quick one, when you say filmmaking, are you talking about full on like films?
Like feature films, full films. Yeah, short films. I really want to do a Netflix series or like an episode. But then there's like, I was watching Snowfall I've been binging on Snowfall.
What's Snowfall?
What?
Snowfall.
Girl, I'm gonna have to leave. Snowfall.
No.
Have you not seen Snowfall?
What, Netflix or something?
It's on BBC iPlayer at the moment.
Nah.
Oh, honey.
Hold on. You gotta remember, I'm videoing and editing this. I ain't got time to watch anything
Oh,
else.
that's true. Fair play. Yeah.
Okay, so what's Snowfall anyway?
Snowfall, it's about like the so it's like the journey of how the crack epidemic came about in America, and Idris Damson is the main character, and he's from London. Do you know who that is?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's like from Peckham, so it's like a big deal that he's in this massive.
Has he been in anything before?
Yeah, what was he in? It's good actually that you haven't watched it, because we probably would have just turned this whole podcast into a Snowfall podcast.
Is it?
Yeah, it's mad addictive.
Okay, yeah. So Snowfall. So you would want to work on something
like
that?
For example, if they said, "Oh, would you direct it?" Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Even though it's like I just feel like I'm kind of transitioning out of. I don't really want to show negative stuff anymore, but like I feel like what I like about Snowfall is that it doesn't glamorize that lifestyle.
Yeah.
If anything, it shows you how stressed out and how you have to live when you live in that lifestyle. So
opposite way of it.
Yeah, so I kind of like how they've showed that. But yeah, I want to do like a Netflix series or an episode or something.
Oh, fair enough. So you'd want to create that. So why? Is it because like what I'm trying to say is, do you feel like you've accomplished what you've needed to accomplish in the music video industry, and now you want to challenge yourself into other things?
Basically, I feel like I still have a list though. So a list of artists that I'm still aiming for. So I'm coming for, I need to get Gets, Nines, J Hus. I've shot Young Ads, but I'd like to do D Block Europe because I just like them. But I want to do something different with them.
Right, so how did you shoot for Young Ads and not D Block?
Because he was on the Waze video song with Skepta and Chip. So
the artist you're name dropping is not necessarily their song, but you'd want to do a project where they're in it, if that makes... Am I right?
No, yeah, the ones that I'm dropping, the names that I'm saying is the ones that I want to shoot.
Yeah.
But I've already shot Young Ads because he was in my Waze video.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You'd want to do it, a D Block video, for obviously their song.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm trying to get at.
But I mean, if they all collaborated and I did that one video, that would be perfect. I'd be like, yep, tick, out.
All the list.
Yeah, that would be dope. So yeah, there's like a couple artists that I still want to, within our scene, that I want to shoot. But yeah, I feel like I've done a lot. And my main goal back in like 2018 was I want everyone in our scene to know me as a director. And I want to work with all the artists that everyone knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's probably still a couple other people that I want to work with, but they're the main ones.
Probably a lot more, yeah. So you obviously, now this is a bit mad because you want them all to know you, and then eventually you're going to go to filmmaking and whatnot. So it's a bit of a round circle right there. And that brings me on to, you want to focus your energy onto filmmaking. So now you're doing mentoring for music videos. Am I right?
Can I just say one thing about... even though I want to get into filmmaking, I still feel like I can bring something back to our scene.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed lately, like people are starting to get a bit more experimental with stuff. So what I want to do is go and create other things in different genres and try different, just become more experienced director and then be able to come back.
I remember you saying on Trish's podcast that you feel like a lot of these music videos are the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you said Thumb was something different for you, because that was full on like...
It was so different. Like I got to play with like the narrative, but then I got to take like Huncho and Nate Smalls out of the normal world that we see them in and put them into Goodfellas. Like I thought that was cool. Yeah, that was sick to be fair. That was definitely a music video that was completely different to anything that anyone's really seen before. Yeah, that's my whole style. Like that video, Huncho literally just said, do whatever you want. All he said is, I want to jump in a pool and I want to wear a suit. And I was just like, that's all you got for me? He was like, anything else you want to do it. I was like, okay, cool. So that's how that came about. So now that obviously people like artists are bringing new things to music videos, does it excite you to think that like it's time to roll with some different scenes, different shots, be creative? It doesn't, because I still feel like I found my kind of style. I feel like the type of director I am a very like storytelling director. Yeah. I like to do like narrative, or I just want the video to just look amazing. Yeah. Like I grew up on a lot of like the 2000 music videos where they had millions for budget. So everything was just clean. it might be a very simple performance video, but it is so smooth. And
But
so
you're talking about MTV, so those are probably all American things.
yeah. That's all I grew up on. So it's like, to me, I just want to, if an artist comes to me and they just want a performance video, I want you to just look like a complete superstar. I want people to be like, wow, like they're actually a celebrity when they watch the video.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we're getting there over here, but we still need to invest a bit more money into like lighting, and because the style, everyone's got that.
Do you think we could actually get there at a point? Because America and here is completely different. I mean, like America, you got the banging weather, you got some houses that they have for the music videos is unreal. And like, I know this is a bit more recent compared to what you're talking about, but Rick Ross Diced Pineapples, the house in that music video, have you seen it? You must have seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it time ago. I mean,
wherever that's in America, and the house like that is mad, but we don't get that in the UK. So what I'm trying to say is, like, could we actually
it's just money. That's all it is. It's just about money. And I guess our scene just has to make a bit more money. And I feel like it's getting there. I mean, the stuff that I see rappers have now, I'm thinking, wow, like rappers 10 years ago.
The materialistic things?
Yeah, like even cars, even I just see Fredo just invested in
into that, what was it? A sneaker company.
Yeah, I'm like, that's mad. Like, I love seeing that stuff. So it's showing that I think eventually we might get there.
It's paying a bit more.
But at the same time,
you
look at like D-Block's videos, they shoot very similar style videos and it works for them. So sometimes you don't need to do the extra stuff.
Artist flavour.
Yeah, sometimes they don't need to do all that extra stuff because their fan base, they're happy with what they do for them.
So with the budgets, obviously you're saying prices like going up and we're eventually getting there. So how much actually do these music videos cost?
It all depends really, but
so let's take Thumb for example, because that would look like a very expensive production. Obviously it looks like Goodfellas, like
that one was like a high-end video. That one was quite a lot. Like,
how much would you say, or were you not allowed to say?
I can't really say the exact amount, but it was over 20k.
Oh, is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Flipping out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was over.
So if that was a high-end one, what's like, you've done loads of music videos now, what's like an average price?
Nowadays, average price is about 10, 15.
That's still expensive, man.
Yeah. But you know, it sounds expensive, but when you break it down, the amount of things you have to pay for, it's like, man, this ain't even really enough. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm talking about the quality as well. So sometimes we have to compromise a lot on things, or the idea has to be a bit more simple because you have to remember we're shooting music videos in 24 hours. Less than that. We have like 12 hours to max to shoot a video. That's a long day. A full day is 8 hours normally.
I guess it depends on what you're doing in the music video, no?
Yeah. And you have to factor in travel time in between. Yeah. So if you got a house location here and then you got a warehouse location there.
Different place,
Yeah, you have to travel. And especially if you're in London, that traffic is crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of things to factor in, and budgets. When we break it down, you've got all your crew, you've got to pay for catering, you've got to pay for locations, talent like models, actors, everything down to hard drives, down to equipment. There's so much that you have to pay for.
You pretty much do the whole shebang.
Yeah, everything.
Not just like directing, but piecing everything together.
Yeah, so now I'm very hands-on. I've always been hands-on, but now I'm very hands-on because I have a production company.
So say if I was an artist, could I just come to you saying, hey, Ashleigh, I want to do a music video. I want this in it. And you could just run with it and give me a date, time and all that stuff for...
Basically, yeah. That's how it happens. So how it happens is the artist will reach out and they'll be like, oh, I've got this song. They might have an idea. They may not have one. So then they'll send me the track. I'll come up with the idea, talk to them, make sure that they're happy with it. And then from there, we take like a deposit and then we start production. So we start organising everything. We get the date ready. And then all they have to do is... most things is like worry about styling and just turn up on the day. We organise everything.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy it?
I don't have to do the organising. I pay someone to do that.
Fair enough.
Because if you've seen how stressed I was to organise what I was going to wear today,
yeah, fair enough.
No shoots would get done.
So at the most recent music video shoot that we went to, which was Rimsey's Anything, you had your mentors there.
Yeah.
So what's all that about?
So during lockdown, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Because we couldn't go out and shoot that first lockdown.
Oh, I just need to stop you there and ask you one question. Yeah, because
you're going to ask me, did I go out and shoot?
Kind of ish. So
trying to get me in trouble.
No, not even like that. So what I'm trying to get at is before lockdown, I'll give you my perspective. I was like filming as much as I can. Literally before lockdown, we were in Dubai. We took our cameras, drones, everything, filming. And for us, when obviously lockdown happened, it was like such a creative halt in our head. I couldn't comprehend it because I was thinking there's so many things I would love to do right now, but I can't. So what was it like for you?
Yeah, it was weird at first, but I didn't mind it because I was like, I can breathe.
Yeah.
Because the year before, 2019 it was like the year that changed my whole life.
Why is that?
That's the only way I can describe it, because everything changed. That's when I like started directing so many videos. The first time I directed in LA, when I did the Roddy Ricch video, that was crazy.
You done the Roddy Ricch video?
Yeah.
Which one?
It was Roddy Ricch, Chip and Young Bane.
You haven't even got that on your website. I would have noted that down.
Have I not got that on my website?
I don't think so, no, because I was looking at your whole website last night and I was thinking...
Damn, I need to put that out there.
Which video, sorry?
One. So it's called How It Is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Roddy Ricch. And Young Bane?
Young Bane and Chip, yeah. Okay, so it was for The Plug.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was for their project. So, yeah, so like LA... When I did that video, that changed everything.
Yeah.
And I had that secret for so long.
What do you mean, like?
Like I knew that I knew I was in LA shooting Roddy Ricch, but it's like I didn't tell anyone except for like a handful of people.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting. And then when they dropped the trailer, oh my God, I remember it. Everyone was like, what? Because it's like, what actually shot Roddy? Because I did not put no snaps up, nothing. Like that, yeah. There was no evidence that I'd even spoken to Roddy Ricch before. And then that just dropped out of nowhere.
Obviously Roddy Ricch is such a massive artist. So what's that feeling like for you working with someone on such a global scale?
Yeah.
What's that like?
I was so excited, and the way it came about, it was so random. So we were in Chicago and I was filming a music video for Joss Stone and James Morrison. And my DOP was like, oh, I'm going to LA after this, I got to shoot some rapper Roddy Ricch. And I was like, some rapper Roddy Ricch?
So
what do you mean? But he's older. He's like in his 40s, so he don't really care like that. So I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, can I come? He was like, yeah, if you want. And I was like, no, for real, can I come with you? And he was like, yeah, like there's budget. We can like, he was like, co-direct it with me. And I was like, what? I was just going to go there and be pretending to take like behind the scenes on my iPhone or something.
Just go to LA for the vibe.
I just wanted to be on set and be a runner for him. He's like, yeah, co-direct it. And I was just like, this guy does not know that he's about to change my life. He has no idea. And and then on the day, he kind of just left me to get on with it. Like he kind of took more like
backseat approach.
Yeah, because he knew that I was so excited. he had me running around. He was just like, yeah. I was like, should we do this? He was like, yeah, if you want to do it. I was like, this guy is letting me do whatever I want. Like, I can't believe it.
The way I'm picturing your excitement in my head right now is the same sort of vibe that I would get if I was doing a podcast with someone, say Elon Musk or whatever. Yeah. Someone big of that scale.
Like, you can't even believe this is happening right now. Yeah.
You probably come back from LA thinking, nah, that was just a dream.
Yeah, that whole trip to LA was just, it was wild. The one thing I'm upset though about is he left the shoot and went studio with Meek Mill and Nipsey, and I'm so upset that I never asked him who he was going with, because I would have been like, can I come do behind the scenes for you? I would have fully just rolled with him.
That would have been sick.
That would have been so sick.
Life changing.
Yeah.
So that happened in 2019.
Yeah, that was January, the second week of January that happened. In
2019.
Yeah, and I just knew. I knew from then my life was. I just knew that year was going to be insane. And
how was the rest of the year different for you?
I didn't stop directing. I had like a new video every 2 weeks. I think I shot like over 20 music videos. I worked with Comedy Central that year as well. I did like a 6 music video. It was like parody music videos for them. Yeah. Which was like different because it's working with like a company. Yeah, it was just insane. I went LA bare times. I went like 3-4 times that year. I went to the BET Award. You've never been to LA?
I've never been west of M25.
What?
So you know the M25 ring?
Yeah.
I've never been beyond that.
I'm so confused. What's going on?
I've been to all other countries on like
You
that
work
side.
too much. You haven't watched snowfall. You haven't been outside. But you went to Dubai though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been to East. I've been everywhere East.
Yeah.
But I've never been in America.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
that's
mean?
not too bad then.
I wanted to go
travelled
so
a bit.
badly in 2020, but obviously things got written off.
You're like, I think LA's, it's how, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just
I've
different.
heard from, because I have like some mates or whatever have gone and they're interested in, you know, videography and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the vibe they get there is such a content friendly place. Like
Yeah.
everyone's on making content. And stuff
Yeah,
like that.
everyone loves it.
All the YouTubers are living there and pretty much like
Everyone's down. They're like, yeah, let's do it.
that. Yeah.
It's like a bit of a dream world at the same time.
Mm.
But there's something about the weather. Everything's just naturally lit and ready to go
That's
to
it,
just
yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
You can just literally point your camera and you're like, oh, this looks amazing.
It's like the perfect sunlight hour. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
perfect.
all the time.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the golden
Golden hour.
yeah, literally that's what it's like all the time. It's just beautiful. And there's so many, like, you can go up into the hills, then you can go down to like Malibu, you got a beach,
Then you go, everywhere.
but then there's snow in LA as well.
It's no way.
Yeah, there's snow. Then you can go to the mountains.
I'm
And
asking where, like I've been, but yeah.
yeah, you go out like of LA. I don't know whereabouts exactly it is, but yeah, you can go out to the mountains and there's snow.
Bloody hell. And then you got
Yeah.
Vegas like around the corner as well, so you could
Yeah, it's
easily
like
go
4
there
hours,
for
I think. 4
another
hours
scene.
away. Yeah.
Which is mad. I need to go there badly.
There's everything you want is basically there.
But you're going back to what we said. So 2019 that was in January, and then so how do you think the rest of the year planned out for you? Like, how did that January or that moment in LA change your life?
I did not stop working after that. And I think people started to be like, oh, wow, like Ashleigh's actually a director. If she's worked with Roddy Ricch, I want to work with her. That's basically the kind of like energy that I was getting from people.
You think it was like a statement sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What like music videos did you do after that?
After that, we did,
Was Thumb after that
that was in September.
in 2019?
Yeah. Or October. Yeah, it was more towards the end of the year.
So the work were you getting,
Yeah.
would you say like it was reflective of the Roddy Ricch video?
Yeah, kind of. And it was also being around someone that was helping me get the videos. So my DOP, he was getting videos left, right and center.
Yeah.
But he knew that it would be more beneficial to give me those videos. So that's kind of what sparked the mentoring, because I realized how powerful it is to have someone, when they're in a certain position, to be able to just plug you into one or two things. It can just change your life instantly. So that's why I'm really big on mentoring, because that's what he basically did for me, and he didn't even like know.
No, it was mentoring.
Yeah, basically. I always call him my film dad. His name's Luke Biggins, by the way. So,
Biggins, yeah?
Yeah.
Big up Biggins.
Big up Luke Biggins all day. Yeah.
So coming to 2020 now, unfortunately, you know, the world ended. Everyone knows, or not ended, not Judgment Day.
Wow,
sort
that
of
was
thing, but
traumatic.
yeah. Traumatic. Okay, so the world closed down.
Yeah.
And now I think this is when you started mentoring.
Yeah, I started mentoring in April 2020.
So what was the decision for that?
I just didn't have nothing else to do, because I was like, okay, I can't go out and shoot. What should I do? And I was sitting there thinking, at first I was like, how can I make some money? And I was thinking, people ain't going to pay me for knowledge. Like, do people really do that? You know, you just don't think that you got that much knowledge. I'm like, nah, I don't know.
Not even that, you have doubts like no one's going to pay for this sort of thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've had those ideas all the time. Like
I'm
creating
like,
something.
nah, they ain't gonna want nah. So I thought, let me put it out there and see what happens. And then I did my first session, and I just remember the feeling afterwards. I was just like, oh my God, I want to do this every day.
How many people did you have in the first session?
I only had one person, so they're one-to-ones.
Oh, okay, fair
so
enough. Yeah,
each session is like an hour with one person.
Yeah.
But I just loved it. And when I was speaking to the girl, I realized how much I knew. And I was like, whoa, like it just put it all in perspective, how much knowledge I had racked up over these 10 years.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like earlier on, it's just the same way of the music production. The same thing with your knowledge. You're sharing your knowledge with someone who has, let's not say no clue, but not as much knowledge as you.
They're kind of like, you know, they're at the beginning.
Then,
yeah. So I was just like, whoa, I'm actually mad advanced. And then I was like, okay, let me try again. Let me try another one. And then that was it. I was just hooked. And then I think now it's a year later, I've done over like 400 hours. Like,
no way.
Yeah, it's mad.
Bloody hell. So how many people have you like helped?
I got like a database of like over 130 different people now.
Bloody hell, no way.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, something like that.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So what's that? How does that make you feel knowing that you, for example, Biggins is helping you,
Yeah.
and now you're in Biggins' position helping others?
It's nice, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's just a good feeling. Like obviously when we was at the Rimsey shoot, like I can't lie, I wanted to shed a little tear. I was like, oh my little babies, look at them all working.
You know, I didn't know any of them were your mentors. You know that? I thought
Yeah.
they were all like professional, like
They handled
proper
it.
thing.
They didn't even need me at the shoot.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just make sure that everything's good. They had it covered.
Yeah.
They did so well. And actually my youngest, is he still my youngest? I don't know if he is my youngest mentee anymore. I think I got someone younger than him now, but he was there doing behind the scenes as well. And it was just like, yeah, that was like his first shoot with like an established artist. So
Yeah.
I knew that he needed that to be able to kind of like charge more for his services where he's from. Because he's so good. Like, that's the thing. I noticed, like, the younger generation, they're so advanced with shooting.
What is it for? Just helping them trying to... So what I'm saying is your course, is it obviously developing the skills and knowledge, but also...
Giving them opportunity as well.
Giving an opportunity of how to actually secure jobs and do them as a freelancing job.
Yeah. So as well as doing the one-to-one, I also have, like, an Instagram group where... the mentees are in there, and then when someone sends me a song, maybe it might not be in like my budget range, or I might not just have time to do it. So then I send it to them.
When you say your budget range, or you mean like too low of a price, or okay, what's the sort of budget you work with? Like anything that's worth it? I work with budgets from like 10,000 upwards. That doesn't mean that I get the full 10,000, because everyone loves to say that. They're like, oh, 10,000, I ain't paying 10,000 for her. I'm like, I wish I was getting the 10,000. So let's just say a whole project costs 10 bags, £10,000. You don't have to say this, but from as an outside perspective, someone might be thinking, bloody hell, like Ashley's raking in 10 grand from a music video, doing 4 music videos a month, 40 grand a month. So how much?
My company will get 40,000.
So how much would you take home?
I take percentages, so it depends really. But like directors take anything between like 7 to 10%.
Okay.
Or 8 to 10%.
That's still good.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
But every budget's different, so.
So you're going back to you'd give them the smaller budget videos or ones that you might not have time for.
Yeah, so then I give it to them and I become more of like a commissioner for them. So it's like they put their ideas together, they send them all to me, and then I send them on to the artist, and I'm like the middleman, just making sure that the artists are happy and that they're not getting bumped, more importantly.
Make sure that ends meet.
Yeah, because when I was doing this, I was getting bumped left, right and centre. So
by these artists or
by everyone.
All that stuff.
Everyone was trying to bump me.
How so?
Just like, oh yeah, come to this, we'll pay you. Then they're like, oh, no, then sending an invoice, they're not paying you. Because I never used to do deposits when I first started out.
Oh, is it?
So I never knew about taking deposits, things like that. Mad. And then people just wouldn't pay me. What am I going to do? I can't roll up nowhere.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen.
Comes with experience.
Yeah, so that's the most important thing, making sure they don't get bumped. Because,
That's quite sick, to be fair. Do you do that?
Yeah.
So is that something you want to continue regardless of whatever you're doing?
Yeah, do you know what? I have this like vision. It's so random, but I actually want to buy an island and build a school on there. Like kind of like a retreat in a way, because I don't want it just for like children. I want it to be for like families, and it's like a healing center. Yeah. That's what I want to basically build. So I always thought that, oh yeah, I need M's to start doing all of that stuff and helping people. But then I just realized this is like the stepping
stone to that.
Yeah, because even though it's mentoring and we're talking about like careers and stuff, a lot of the sessions that I have, it's like very like life coaching in a way, because we're not just talking about just work stuff. Because for example, if you want to go and achieve this goal, but something's holding you back, you don't feel like you deserve it, I've got to work with you to make you realize you do deserve it. So I have to do inner work with them as well. Yeah. Which I'm not mad at. I love doing that.
No, it's really good. With all your mentees, you're probably building a proper relationship with them to a point where you can talk as friends or, motivate each other, push each other, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's proper nice. But like when I have that session with them, when they're just sad and they're doubtful or they're just upset, they don't even know what to do anymore. Like when they're having that moment and we have the session like that, that's always the session that it kind of like the breakthrough session, because they've opened up to me, they've been vulnerable. So now it's like, okay, cool. I help build them back up. And then they're not like being their representative no more, because I've already seen them at their like worst, let's say. So then now it's like, cool.
Everyone's just normal.
Yeah, now we can really get to work because I know what's upsetting you. So now I can help you overcome that as well.
So what would be the goal for you when it comes to like mentoring and helping other people? Because like you said, you'd want to make an island and have a school in it and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But what would be like the ideal goal for you other than that? So like the next step above this, what you're doing right now?
I just want to make sure that they achieve their goals, basically. That's like the main thing. So I guess it would just be...
No, so what I'm saying was, would you want to make like a proper school in the UK or something for it?
I don't know, maybe, but I'm going to do like an online course because now my time is starting to get a bit...
Free?
No, it's like...
Oh, tied up, sorry.
Yeah, it's getting tied up now. Now that we're out of lockdown, it's like...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because like I said, I got a production company, so I have to executive produce everything that I'm directing as well.
Yeah.
So that's very hands-on. I'm dealing with contracts, I'm dealing with accountants, I'm dealing with this, that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm tired, talking to so many people and then dedicating like 2 hours a day to 2 different people as well. So I'm definitely going to be doing like an online course, but long term, I think it's just building up directors really, and just being able to have like a roster of younger directors that I can kind of send out into the world that I'm currently in, like the UK music scene. Even when I'm not in there, I'm still in there in a way.
100%, yeah.
So I think that's probably what I would do.
You're still networked up and clued up in that industry.
Yeah, like I'm still a part of the scene, but maybe I'm not there all the time. Because I do love I love rap, I love UK music. So it's like I still want to be a part of it, but I do know that it's time like for me to transition out of it and let other people have a chance.
No, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. I hear that. Moving on to in more recent years, not only have you done music videos and short films, but you also done work for likes of H&M, House of CB, and like, so how did all that come about? Because that's different work. That's commercial corporate work, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, and it's like fashion as well. So House of CB came around because I had been directing all 2017. No. I think it was 2016 maybe. And I had a really bad experience with one music video. And then I had another music video that it was like a big artist and then they never released it. And I was just like, you know what? This directing thing is hard. I'm not on it. I'm going back to self-shooting.
I've got to say, I get so wound up, when I've done some projects before where you put your heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears into everything. And then they don't release it.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, go on.
It's the worst. And then I was like, I'm just going to go back to self-shooting. So I was just doing videography and I got the opportunity. I got a call and they was like, oh, Connor Walker wants some photography done while she's in London. And I was like, what? I love her. Yeah. Like Connor's the owner of House of CB. I love her. So I was like, yeah, I want to meet her. But in my head, I was like, I want to meet her so that she knows who I am because I know that she's going to want to work with me because I just know my work rate. Like I just know. So I was like, yeah. So went there, met her and then, literally like I think a couple of days later, they was like, oh yeah, we want you to come to Italy and do behind the scenes for a lookbook that they were doing. So shoot behind the scenes and her content. And then when I was there, I realized no one was doing video. So with my Canon, you can switch to video so easily. So I shot like a behind the scenes. And no one knew that I was doing it. And then we went back to the hotel and I showed her and she was like, you can do video as well. And I was like, that's what I do. But obviously there was someone else that was doing video before, so I weren't going to tell her.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's over. And then I literally just always go into all the shoots with them, went to LA with her, all the time shooting. But yeah, that's how I got into House of CB. And then with H&M, the production company that I interned at, they just put me forward. They didn't even tell me that they put me forward for that.
The company when you first started up?
Yeah, it's a company called Pretty Bird.
Yeah.
So that's the production company that the director that I like, she was represented by. Yeah. So I just didn't even know that they put me forward. And the way they pitched it to me, they were like, yeah, I just want you to do like some like behind the scenes stuff for H&M. I was like, what? Behind the scenes? That's dope. Yeah, I'll do it. Then I remember going to the office and there was like a whole script. I was like, a script for a behind the scenes? What's going on? They was like, no, you're directing. They call them the Dooms, Digital Out of Home. content.
Yeah.
So it's like all the billboard stuff.
Yeah.
So the stuff that plays in the shops, the stuff that's on the, on the underground when you see the movie and stuff.
Different things, yeah.
So I was like, what? This is huge.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, this is insane. But that was one of the easiest shoots of my life. And
One of the easiest?
Yeah, it's one of the easiest shoots
Why
of
is
my
that?
life. Because it was such a high production that there was people paid there to do everything.
Yeah.
So coming from the music video world, music videos, even though you're the director, you're still kind of like the producer, still kind of like the editor in some way.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a videographer, you are literally everything.
100%, yeah.
As you would know, you just do everything.
When you were first, let me just throw it back to you. I didn't ask this. I can't believe I didn't ask it. But when you started out, were you editing and all that stuff yourself?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I was self-shooting, directing, editing, grading, everything. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of knowledge. So grading something I still don't know.
I'm not the best.
I don't bother.
Yeah, I'm not the best. I just chucked the lux on and that was it.
The
Keep it
automatic
moving. That was good. Chuck it on. Yeah.
So yeah, you done work with so you're saying that's the easiest thing.
Yeah, it was the easiest job because literally I remember even the runners, I was like getting up to try and get water. They was like, what do you want? And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get water. They was like, no, you're the director, sit down. And I was just like, what? Like I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
I was so used to like going and getting what I needed or going and helping on set to make sure that we're running against the right time and stuff like that. But that one, all they wanted me to do was sit at the monitor. Yep, let's go, action, cool. Yeah, go back to the agency. Are you guys happy? Oh, let's try something. Okay, cool. Guys, we want to try this. Watch it. You guys happy? Yeah, cool. Next shot, let's go. That's all they wanted me to do. And I was just like, so this is how it's supposed to be with directing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, so, it's crazy.
Let me ask you a question, yeah? So out of all the music videos, movies, short films, everything that you've seen video-wise, yeah? What's one thing that inspires you the most thinking, I would love to film something like that? Something that really inspires you and captures your eye thinking, damn, that is sick.
It depends really. There's like music videos that I watch and I'm like, oh, this is sick. But then it's like when I watched Goodfellas the first time and I saw that one take, I was like, this is cold. I need to redo this. So I just like locked it back there. I was like, yep, I'm going to do that one day. I get inspired just from watching stuff. Even Snowfall, because I love it and I love the character development. I'm like, oh, I wonder how I could do that, like recreate Snowfall. But it might just be a scene. Like one scene. There's like one scene in Snowfall that I'm thinking
that you want
of.
To recreate.
And I'm like, it was so sick and the acting was so amazing. I wonder how I could recreate that some way.
Someone who's been established within the music video world, director and videographer, for someone who wants to start out now, what do you think is the best route for them to take?
I always say just be proactive. Like literally use what you've got around you.
I would have said contact you for mentoring. But anyway.
All right, let's start that again. No, for real. I mean, you can contact me for mentoring. I'm going to give you all the game. But yeah.
Okay, now for real, how would you advise someone? What would you advise be to them?
Just invest in yourself. That's the main thing. So like invest in some kit maybe. But then also saying that it's just shooting. Like just be active. If you've got a friend that's good at organising things, ask them to help you to organise a shoot. Yeah. If you've got a friend that's a rapper, just go out and shoot something for them. You got a girl or a guy that likes fashion, order clothes and go do a lookbook with them. Yeah. Just be active. That's what I say.
Yeah, I'd probably advise the same thing because a lot of people always ask like how to film a podcast or whatever. I think the simple answer is just go and film a podcast. Just do it. And learn like that. Yeah, because that's the only way you learn. Like when I was doing music videos, the only way I learned how to get better at being a videographer was just shooting. Yeah. There was times I had no idea. I'd be like, raw, my camera, like the stabilizer's going crazy. I'm like, why is it doing it? But I have to figure it out on the job because I've got to finish it. Yeah. Directing, okay, maybe this artist maybe I'm not getting something from the talent. I've got to figure out how do I make them more comfortable? How do I do this? But you're only going to learn from experience. You can watch YouTube videos all day, but it's going to be very different when you're on set and it's all on you. It's so different. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly how I learned, to be fair, YouTube, and then just do it yourself and then bang, here you are today. Yeah. What's the biggest lesson or quote that you stand by throughout your whole career? Ooh. I think it would be like a quote that I stand by. Oh, God. Quote.
quote. I feel like it's it's more like a Bible quote. You know the quote, what is it? I can do all things through God who strengthens me. I think that's the one that I always go with because I just believe I can do anything.
Yeah.
Again, I'm big on timing, so I might not it's like I say, I want to get a flat stomach. Timing. Timing, girl, because I like to eat. So, but I know I can do it if I really want to.
Yeah.
Because I've just proved it of everything that like you said, my life seems like a manifestation. I believe anything that I say, or anything that I really, really want, I will figure out how to get it. Yeah. I've done it so many times, so I just believe it now. So yeah, I just believe I can do anything.
As well as on your website, you've got a segment called Sideline Stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I thought that was cute when you brought that up. I was getting it wrong.
I love what you're doing with that. So tell me what's all that about.
Do you know what? Sideline Stories was just a project that I wanted to start because I felt like I wasn't directing anything that I really wanted to.
Let's just pause it there.
Yeah.
And let's just, for the people who don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
What
explain
is
it.
Yeah.
So Sideline Stories is basically like a interview / mini documentary on people that I feel like are more like on the sideline of things. So they're not the celebrity. They're more the people that might assist the celebrity and help that person get to somewhere.
Yeah.
Or they might not have nothing to do with being a celebrity. The first episode was with a girl called Temi.
Yeah.
And she's actually got a charity foundation which teaches kids law and their rights.
Yeah.
And it's all very about, protecting kids against violence and stuff. So it's very different, The second one that I was supposed to release, remember we were saying about when you can't release something?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I was so annoyed
so
because
that was one of them.
Yeah, because it was my fault because I was stalling for time to edit it. It's like I was self-sabotaging myself. I was like, because I knew that it was going to be a big one, and by the time I got it done, they were like, "Oh, all the information's old now. We can't even release it." And I was like, "Oh, that one would have been so good." So it was with someone from LA as well.
Oh, is it?
I went LA to film it and everything.
You got to fly back there and do it again.
Basically, yeah. I'll be like, "Yo, please."
Do you ever get moments like that when, like you said, you wanted to edit it? Wherever you get moments where you just I don't know how to explain it. There's like a creative, not breakdown, but
yeah, when you're blocked, when you're blocked. I just think you're just self-sabotaging, basically.
That's exactly the way to put it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because I was scared in a way. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a big one. I'm scared.
Yeah, that's it. Literally like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I learned from that. It doesn't matter how scared I am. Well, I say that, and I'm sitting on a script right now that I should have shot a year ago. So everyone get onto me and tell me to shoot my short film, please.
No, I don't blame you though. It's been locked down, so you couldn't really do anything like that anyway.
I know, but it's no excuse, man. I gotta get it done. It's because I'm looking for a main girl. So actresses, hit me up.
There you go. I'm gonna hit you up, Ashleigh. Your email.
Email is which one should I send it to? Production@dynastyent.co. CO, not .com. There's no missing M.
There you go.
CO.
I'm gonna ask you last couple of questions. So over the decade that you've been working and you've been hustling, what's one moment that you look back at thinking you're so proud of what you've achieved right there?
Yeah, it's probably the H&M thing.
Was it? I thought you would have said the Roddy Ricch thing.
I mean, that was a big one as well.
You probably seem like you've had so many.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. How does that make you feel in terms of you've had all these moments that you feel proud of?
Yeah.
It's not like it's any normal work that someone can just get. You got big brands, big artists, big corporations reaching out to you. So how's that make you feel?
It's mad because it's because you're just so in it. It's oh, wow, cool. All right, let's do that job. Right, that's done. Next job, let's go. So yeah, it's but the H&M thing was a moment where I had to stop because I was like, whoa. Do you know why it was a big one for me? Because I went around Westfields in Stratford. Yeah. And I'm from those areas. Yeah. So it was to see my work on
the area you grew up
and it was all around Westfield, on those little billboard things. Yeah. And me and my girl, we was running around Westfield and she was like, look, it's there, look, it's there. And we were just this is insane. And then I took my mum to go see it. And then seeing my mum can now physically see my work.
Yeah.
So that was a moment where she was like, rah, that's crazy. But then even like just yesterday, I got a magazine that I was featured in, and it's like a full page of me.
Oh, is it?
That was another
I saw
moment.
that on your story. Not on your story, you posted it. I posted
Yeah,
it on the gram,
yeah.
isn't it?
Like that was another moment because I've always had this thing in my head. You could tell I watched MTV Cribs as a kid because like everything comes from there. But I've always had this idea of like my hallway just having like photos maybe of me like on set and like
proud, achievable
moments. Just moments, you know.
Yeah.
So but that like I actually went and framed it yesterday just because I was like, I'm not gonna wait until I got this house. I'm gonna create it now with my current house. So that was a proud moment. Even now, when I walk past it in my house, I'm like, bro, that's crazy. I'm in the magazine. Like,
your aim just to build up the whole wall and flood it with like articles,
yeah,
pictures,
basically. I want a plaque as well. I need to figure out how to get that.
No, you'll get that easy. Like
Yeah.
once you figure out, I guarantee you'll get it within like the next week, something like that, something crazy.
Let's
There you
speak
go,
it into
fingers crossed.
existence.
Last question, Ashleigh. Always ask everyone. You're the second female we've had on the podcast in person.
Oh gosh,
so,
no pressure.
No pressure, yeah. So what does success mean to you?
Success means to me, I would just say like legacy. How you can change the world while you're here and how many people you can impact while you're here as well. And put on so that when you're gone, they're still able to do what they do. So yeah.
You know what? I'm going to be very honest here. Out of almost 50 episodes I've done now, you're the first person who said something along the lines of legacy.
Really?
Yeah. That's quite a genuine, sick answer.
It's because I'm a Nipsey fan. Nipsey was all about legacy. That's all I know now.
Do you know what? I would have asked you about Nipsey.
Yeah.
I knew it could be a whole podcast about it.
You can ask one question if you want. I can turn it off.
So why are you inspired by Nipsey?
I feel like
a lot of people are. So
yeah, a lot of people are inspired by Nipsey, but I feel like he, well, for me personally, when he died, like it made me realize how much work he'd actually done.
You said you got into Nipsey late though, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I got into him late.
When you say late, when
it was like when he dropped Mailbox Money, which was, I don't even remember what year that was. But I never really used to listen to his music. That's the weird thing. Even though when I started to listen back to his music when he passed, I was like, oh, I know a lot of these songs. But I used to listen to his interviews because I just thought this guy's so intelligent.
100%, yeah.
I used to love watching his interviews. Like when I was sad, let me watch a Nipsey interview and make me feel better.
Yeah.
So it was like always motivation for me. But when he passed, he made me realize how much I'd been slacking. I didn't own anything. So that's why I started my production company.
It's all about ownership, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's exactly what's been on my mind for God knows how long now. Just ownership over anything else.
Yeah. So like, I thought, well, I'm doing all these shoots. People coming to me directly and I'm giving them to another production company. I might as well just do it myself.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, that's what sparks me doing the production company. And then, yeah, basically that's the main part of it. And he's big on legacy. He's big on like just building and giving back. So my guy.
That's sick. No, fair enough. I think we're gonna wrap it up there, to be honest. So how did you find it?
It was good. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Sorry for stalling so long. Being a girl, hair and makeup and all
No. That's all right. I need to get used to that now. No, honestly, was it right? Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you.
I'm happy with that.
You happy?
Sick podcast, yeah.
Come on.
Honestly.
Come on.
Yeah.